She just was the embodiment of success, of beauty, of grace.
Cheslie Kryst.
The shocking and sudden death of 30-year-old Cheslie Kryst sent shockwaves across the country and hit like a ton of bricks to many within the Black community who saw her as a beacon of Black excellence.
I'm emulating her. And I'm like, okay, I can be Miss Michigan USA, and then I can be Miss USA, and then after Miss USA, I could be an entertainment correspondent.
24-year-old Kyla Wright of Detroit says she looked up to Kryst for her accomplishments, which include multiple degrees, licenses to practice law in 2 states, activism, TV hosting, and her Miss USA win in 2019. Kryst's padded resume is what helped motivate Wright to compete herself for Miss Michigan USA last year.
And I will watch Cheslie, and I'm like, this girl is bomb.
When news spread over the weekend, Kryst jumped from her apartment building in Manhattan and New York City, according to NYPD. Many were left with a lot of questions.
Mental health concerns, it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care how you look, how much money you have in your bank account, what you're doing.
Psychologist Dr. Charmaine Jackman says when people take their own life from the outside, you can't always see what's unraveling from within. But typically, an underlying mental health condition, such as anxiety or depression, is a contributing factor.
What we see when people are suicidal is that loss of hope.
Kryst's death comes a week after actress Regina King's 26-year-old son, Ian Alexander, died from suicide. In one of his final social media posts, he wrote, "I don't think Instagram is healthy for me." In one of Kryst's final social media posts, she wrote, "May this day rest in peace."
Some people may post messages on their social media posts, and it may not be clear until after the fact, but sometimes people often will give signals.
After a year and a half of uncertainty with schools.
Also last week, Hyattsville, Maryland Mayor 44-year-old Kevin Ward was found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound in Fort Marcy Park near Washington, D.C., police confirmed to the Washington Post. While Kryst, Alexander, and Ward are recent cases, the Journal for American Medical Association found suicide attempts among Black youth rose nearly 80% between 1991 and 2019. Jackman says there are some visible warning signs and risk factors people struggling with their mental health often display. They include changes in behavior, social isolation, giving valuable items away, saying goodbyes, and vague social media posts. Also, increased substance abuse and a sense of hopelessness are other things to look for. Jackman says openly talking about suicide can actually help someone struggling because talking can release pent-up emotion.
What we don't know, people often will say, well, if we talk about suicide, it's going to put something in someone's head. And it's actually a relief for people to be able to name, okay, these are feelings that I'm having, it's okay to have these feelings. And how do I get support when I have these thoughts, of harming myself?
As for Wright, her takeaway from the tragic loss of Kryst is to be more in touch with her mental well-being and listen when her body tells her enough is enough.
And this is a stigma that a lot of Black women, including myself, are trying to break, is we're not strong all the time. And it's okay to not be strong all the time. But the biggest lesson that I want Black women to take away from this, hopefully, is that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to seek therapy. It's okay to just say, I can't do it today. I don't want to do it today.
Reporting for Atlanta Black Star, I'm Cavante Smalls.